On May 23rd, it was 8 years since my concussion. So, 8 years, it's a long time. And 8 years ago, I was driving home from the station together with a friend on my scooter, and I got into an accident. I sustained a whiplash, a concussion, and at first I thought, okay, everything is okay. I'm lucky. Only my uncle just hurt it a bit, but that was it. So I thought, okay, let's go to work the next day. I did the first few, well, days or the first week. I was okay, but I just felt a bit weird. But I just didn't know what was going on. And then after a week, I couldn't work anymore. I went home. I told my boss, okay, maybe I'm back next week. But next week I wasn't there. The week after, I wasn't there. And from them, I stayed home because I just couldn't go back to work. And the thing is, my life before the concussion, I was a very, very busy person. I always went to maybe to parties. I love to go to restaurants. I loved my work. I worked 5 days a week at the office. I had lots of friends. I was always busy and happy. And since the concussion, of course, you can't do all those things anymore. You can't, well, I couldn't go to work. I couldn't go to restaurants because it was so noisy. I felt overwhelmed all the time. And I remember this early phase, so the first months, I went to my doctor many times, but my doctor told me just to rest and that's it. And I got a lot of misdiagnoses, so I felt very confused. I didn't know what was going on. And those first few months, let's say the first year, was really the hardest. And the first 2 years also, it felt like I tried a lot of things, but most of the things, they didn't work. I felt disappointed over and over again. I just didn't know what to do anymore. My doctor didn't know what to do. So the only option I got from my doctor in the end was to go to a psychologist. But of course, this can help maybe to process things because it's a very hard time. But I really felt like I want to work on my symptoms. I'm not ready to accept those symptoms because I really believe I can improve, I can reduce those symptoms. So it was just like I felt like I was my own doctor. I had to do research myself. I didn't go to my doctor after 1 year because, yeah, there was no help at all. And there were some dark days as well when I was home, when I couldn't do anything, when I was just laying on the couch waiting to get better. I lost a lot of, well, friendships. I lost my work, of course. I lost many things because I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't go to restaurants anymore. Even friends who visited, it was sometimes too busy and they couldn't stay long. So, yeah, I lost a lot of things, especially in my first 2 years. And when you are having those health problems, when you're on the other side losing those things, it's really like, for me, it really felt like there was an identity shift from a very, yeah, well, busy but happy busy person to someone who had to do everything differently. So work, I couldn't work. Also, maybe there were a few friends left, but I didn't see them that much because it was just too much. Just my life changed like 180 degrees. There was also a lot of emotional issues because you feel the grief of your old life, you feel frustrated, you feel maybe not being believed or not supported by doctors or friends or family. Um, so, for example, I remember I went to another doctor, and I went there, well, for my symptoms and also for my neck symptoms. Well, I had a lot of neck pain. So I went there, and I remember that he just asked me, can you maybe turn your head to the left? So I turned my head to the left, and this was possible. It hurted a little bit, but I could turn my neck. So he just wrote down like, check, she can do this. Like he was just following some guidelines there. And then I had to turn my head to the right, and I was able to do it. I can move my neck, but it's just not feeling good. There was a lot of stiffness, there was a lot of pain, but I could move my neck. So because I could move my neck, he told me, okay, I think there's nothing wrong with your neck. I think for the vision issues, you just need some reading glasses. I can recommend to go to an eye center and just get some glasses, and then you will be okay. And I remember I felt so misunderstood. Like I was sitting there, barely able to function, and he just told me to get some reading glasses. He told me I was fine. And this wasn't the only visit that happened like this. I visited many doctors who told me there's nothing wrong with you. You're perfectly fine. You don't have any vision issues. You're just okay, and maybe take some rest, or maybe you feel just a bit stressed. We're all stressed. I got those comments, and yeah, that is not helping, of course. But when I look back right now, it's 8 years ago, and every year I am wondering about, wow, is this already 8 years ago? Because the time is flying, and I always try to look back at my journey and to look at what I've learned from it. Because this is something that I started to do after 3 years. The first few years, I didn't see anything that I've learned from it. I just saw the struggles. I just felt the frustration. I didn't see anything positive in the first few years. But right now, I can see some positive things out there. So this concussion really taught me to learn more to listen to my body, to set boundaries, to manage my emotions. Those are all things that I never paid attention to before the accident. I was just living my life, not thinking about emotions, not thinking about having some boundaries. I always said yes to every appointment. Every invitation, I just said yes, and I planned so many things in a week that I was always running from one appointment to another. And when I was at an appointment or when I was visiting friends, my mind was already at the next appointment. So I wasn't in the moment. I was always on the go, always busy. And I learned, because of this concussion, to enjoy the moment, because I think the moment right now is all we have. No future. We don't know what will happen. The past is already past. You can't change it anymore. But the only thing you can change is what you do right now. And I learned so much about this. I shift my view on health. I also valued rest even more, and also that it makes you so much more productivity when you rest enough. Also, my self-worth is so much better than before the accident. I learned so much about myself, but also about the healthcare system and about advocating for myself. I also, of course, changed my work because of this. I can't work in the office because it's just too loud. It's overwhelming. I can't watch a screen 8 hours a day. So right now I'm running this concussion community and the concussion boost program. And this is something that I really love, because it really gives you a purpose. It really gives you, it makes it able to help other people. And that's something that I always missed in my work. I had just a normal job, I worked for a travel agency, and it was fun, but really helping people, like moving them forward, changing maybe their lives. When I get feedback like that, that's really why I'm here, why I do this, and why I love this work, and why I am so happy with this change. And believe me, in my first year, I couldn't even think of doing something like this. This was something that just popped up to my mind, and I thought, there was just one moment that I felt like I want to do this, and I'm going to do it. And then I just started, and that's what I did. And from there, it kept running. I started building this community over and over again. It's already like almost 5 years ago since I started it, maybe 4 years. I think 4 years. But I love it so much that I keep continue building this community and building the Boost program. So I just want everyone who's listening right now to know that when you are out of work right now, when you can't work, when you don't even imagine going back to work, when you feel like this will never happen, I'm feeling so sick, I can't do this. I felt the same way. I felt like I couldn't work for the rest of my life anymore. But there is always a way to figure out things, and I am completely agree that we need to focus on health first, because if you don't have the health, you then it's very hard. But I believe we can improve, and once we improved, or once we are feeling a bit better, then we can start focusing on options to work again, because you don't have to go back to your old job if you don't want to. There are so many options out there that are maybe less intensive, or just, yeah, fits better who you are right now. So just I want you to know that. And there are many things that I do differently right now. So after the accident and before, because right now I have other routines. I already said I have some boundaries right now. So, for example, when I was at work before the accident and someone asked me, can you do this? Can you do that? I need to call. I always said yes. I always said, okay, I will do it. I will do it. Even if I don't have the time for it, I just did it. And right now, I need those boundaries. I remember a few weeks ago, someone sent me an email that she really wanted to schedule a call with me. And I get those requests quite often, but I don't do this because, well, I don't do this for, sometimes maybe for people in the program, but I don't do this on a regular basis because I just know that I need to manage my energy to keep this company, this community, this Boost program running. And if I don't do this, then I am maybe getting a setback, I'm not feeling well, and I can't help my members the best way that I want to help them. So I told this person, hey, I really want to help you. You can send your questions by email or on Instagram if you want to use a voice memo. And he responded very angry, like, I need this call, and it's I can't believe that you don't even have time to call with me. But if I have to call with all of the people that request a call with me, then I'm on the phone all day, and I just can't manage it beside my work. And I think this is a great example of setting boundaries, sticking to your boundaries, even if people don't agree. If people don't agree your boundaries, then they don't respect it. And that's something that I don't like. I always respect boundaries of other people because they are there because they need it. And you don't do this because you think it's funny, or you want to say no to people. You do this because you want to feel good. You want to, yeah, just help other people feel better. So yeah, saying no, setting boundaries is absolutely needed to keep healing, to feel better. So never feel guilty about saying no or about setting boundaries. So yeah, so I think this is it's already 8 years ago. I told you about some things here, but what I'm most proud of after those 8 years is that I kept going. I learned all those things. I created this community that wouldn't be there if I didn't have this accident. That I can help other people right now. That people are sending messages that they're so happy. And yes, I thought this was impossible, but I just did it anyway. And yeah, I think that's something to celebrate. And that's something that I celebrate right now after 8 years. So if I have to send a message to my past self, I can tell her, okay, she just started her own work. She's now independent. She can do her own thing. Learn so much about herself, so personal development. And I want everyone who is in the early stages of recovery right now to know that it gets better. And then I don't mean just symptoms, but also learning things about yourself, about the mental part, about emotions. Everything keeps improving. So keep believing that, never give up, because we will get there. And don't let anyone who is telling you to, I know there are some doctors out there who are telling us that we can't improve anymore. Hey, this is already like 4 years ago, you can't improve, because that's not possible. But believe me, it is. I am still improving even after 8 years. I know a lot of people who I'm helping, mostly in my Concussion Boost program. So this is the interval and the cognitive training, that are improving even after, like, let's say some people even after 30 years or after 20 years. It's never too late if you do the right thing. So please trust in yourself. If you can do it right now, send me a message, because I believe in you. And just trust your path, your journey. And yeah, I just hope that you, because you listened to this episode, that you learned that it's never too late to recover, that you can thank your body for what's doing for you, because it's still healing. Even if you don't feel it all the time, you are moving forward. And please keep reflecting on your own recovery, on your own journey. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, or another healing journey from another person, because it's your journey and you are the one that can change things, that can try new things, that can believe in yourself, that can set boundaries. You're the only person who can do this. So do this. So to anyone who's still in it, I'll see you or hear you. And healing doesn't follow a timeline, and that's okay. And you're doing better than you think. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my podcast. I really hope this was helpful for you. If it was, and if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube, would you maybe do one small thing in return? Leave a short review or thumbs up on YouTube. The more reviews this podcast will get, the easier it is for other people to find this podcast and to feel less alone and lost in their journey. Oh, and one last thing. I would love it if you share a helpful episode on Instagram, in a post or in a story, and tag the Concussion community in it. Or you can always send me a direct message. I love to see who is listening. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.